massive advantage for them. All right, this game is ready to go, so over to our casters, please take it away.
All right, London Ducks Hardpoint, game 1, E6 versus UniLad. I think it's important that we stress, yes, UniLad has been a fantastic team throughout the season, but this E6 squad, I mean, this is full of a lot of veterans. Diabolic, Sen, there's some big names that come to mind. Of course, you recognize General for the past couple of years, Abizi as well. It is a star-studded lineup, if you will, Ton. And honestly, I think E6 could be causing some upsets in this pool.
Potentially, and you know, you look at their route when they come through open as well, and I mean, they beat Complexity 3-0 to get to this point as well. So they're proving that they're a team that can definitely cause problems, and let's see what they can do against one of the best teams in Europe at the moment. We have seen Wuskin and Scraps causing all sorts of problems on this UniLad squad, and Scraps has been that player that people have been saying he's on the bubble of the top 2 teams. You know, I mean, everyone speaks about Red Reserve and Splice, the best 8 players in Europe. Scraps is right there with them at this moment in time. If he can continue this form, UniLad should not struggle here, I feel. But if they play like they did against Vitality yesterday, it's definitely going to be a series.
It's funny, you almost feel like UniLad kind of play to their opponent, right? They go up against a good, solid squad. They're like, all right, we need to bring 110%. They play against a weaker opponent, and sometimes they struggle. And it's important that they don't underestimate E6 here, because they are a team, like I mentioned, that could cause some upsets early on. However, as we rotate over to the second hill, UniLad still fighting for those spawns. You can see a couple players from E6, they've spawned out, but Abizi could have maybe turned the tide there. He was able to connect with a couple more kills, earn those streaks, but not going to happen.
Yeah, they need to make sure they shut down General here. They don't want any sort of pinch developing. Shawnee, easy enough kill there. And they have getting the back spawn here, Enigma6, so they're going to be able to try and push through, and it's going to have to be a hold from UniLad. A couple of kills have come in for E6, and they should be able to get control there. It is going to be Moose and Scraps to answer back. UniLad still close on the spawn. Moose picks up 2, and General is suddenly left all alone, and it might just be Enigma6 rotating towards Doc's warehouse already.
Yeah, General, of course, he's going to be rocking that AR, a role that he's been really renowned for the majority of his career. Started off World War II with a sub, but we've seen a lot of AR players struggle here in Birmingham, and it seems like the struggles continue early here on Saturday. 1-4 start from him. Look for his subs to maybe start playing a little bit more hyper-aggressive if you will, try and relieve a little bit of that pressure.
Moose is having a good game with the sub himself, 5-1. Shawnee that leading the charge also. If he can get close to those streaks, Moose, that will be influential later on in the game. Let's send it towards barrels though. Moose does get that 6th kill as well, so very, very close. Does get a hold of it in the end, eventually going down, but streaks available for him. Good rotation for UniLad as they do get control of Warehouse.
Yeah, that's the key. He gets those 2 streaks before he falls. Doesn't find the 3rd, but ultimately damage has been done there. A 6-1 start from Moose is worth mentioning. You know, we give a lot of love to Scraps. Shawnee often goes off, but Moose sometimes doesn't get the love he deserves. Making the smart plays here, and of course gets those streaks. Abizi trying to just push out of the hill and keep E6 in this one. Still 30 seconds left of time.
Yeah, plenty of time left for E6 to catch back up here. They can just about take the lead if they hold the rest of this as well. Looking like they're going to get a really good spawns here. I like what Diabolic's pushing through fire as well. Doesn't win the gunfight that you maybe expected them to, though. If they can push that a little bit more, get UniLad spawning back towards Crane as they move around towards barrels. Really good work for E6.
Here's the key play, though. Shawnee, number 2 on the minimap. He's gone for that quick flank. Now, will Sender spot him? This could potentially be for the spawn. Sender should fall here. Nicely done by Shawnee. Now he just needs to buy his teammates a little bit of time, of course. Everyone alive at this moment, so no one with an option of spawning in. Of course, you can see Moose, he's dropping in a glide bomb, just trying to support Shawnee as he goes through the back. Of course, Wuskin now there. He needs to be careful of the car not exploding. Sender wins the gunfight anyway, and that, of course, is going to keep UniLad spawning out.
Yeah, they couldn't get any sort of pinch developed there. Really good work by Sender to stay alive. They do get a couple of kills here, though, so not all control for Enigma6 just yet, but they do have the lead. Pretty good score as well, 85 and rising to UniLad 60. Shawnee once again pushing around the back. They want to try and get a pinch going. And it seems to be the easiest way to break this because it's such a choke point when you push on in. Here he goes, gets 1 kill. And General is going to get the 2nd as well. And the Sender, 4 members of E6 go down. UniLad eventually break through in barrels. 20 seconds remaining. They'll still be just behind as we do move towards Crane. But a much closer game than it would have been if Enigma6 held that down.
Absolutely. Huge scrap time there. It just keeps it close. You know, E6, they had a fantastic barrel hold for the majority of the hill. It's important that UniLad are able to break through there. Abizi getting a little close to some streaks potentially. He's on a 3 streak right now, 15-9, so a good performance from him. It'd be good if he could potentially just try and earn that early 100 points as the new hill pops. It's going to be General, however, sat inside here. Of course, here comes the fighter pilot from Moose. Shuts down 1, going to find the 2nd. That Sender, again, so important that Abizi stays alive.
The thing is that UniLad's calling those streaks in. They're not really close enough to do anything. All this does is give them a bit more control around fire. General catching Shawnee with his pants down a little bit there. Sender pushes through and clears that out. Really good work by Enigma6. And that streak from Moose ends up being wasted.
Yeah, most definitely does as it stands, though. Sender looking to try and go for a bit of a cheeky flank here, if you will. Shawnee, flank of his own. That's going to be 1, and a good collapse there on towards the hill, but it's still going to be Enigma6 spawning top bus, putting a ton of pressure in. You know, that's okay. If UniLad don't have fire control, you can cross over towards that hill, relatively uncontested, as now finally the spawns will flip the final 16 seconds. If you're Shawnee, I mean, you may as well contest.
Yeah, you might as well push in here, try and get a hold of the kill. Going to check the right corner. And they are going to get those final few points on the board. We see Enigma6 all in that direction. We can see UniLad still spawning out towards the back, but Moose is in a position to maybe try and cause some problems. But as we go into the next rotation, it's a fairly close game.
It most definitely is. I mean, what, 103 to 92. You can see the way General's kind of adapted after a slow start. Just posted up inside the hill. A minute hill time from him, 5 and 10. He's won a couple of key gunfights. Yes, he probably would have liked to have won a few more, but Shawnee now, he's going to be mid-hill for UniLad, working on some streaks, ultimately does fall as well. Diabolic now pushing over towards fire, drops, and of course it's that first hill ton, just very, very scrappy.
I think the game's been quite scrappy, if I'm honest with you, Ben. It seems to be going backwards and forwards. Neither team really able to establish any sort of significant control. There's little bits here and there, but neither team really being able to lock down a significant amount of points at any of the hills. So far, it's backwards and forwards, but there you go. Enigma6 do get 3 down eventually, and they are going to be able to force UniLad out. They should pick up these final 15. And they're surprising me at how well they're playing. Even with General going 5 and 12, yes, okay, he does have all of that time under his belt, but the SMGs are doing work for Enigma6 right now. BZ really the catalyst for them, though. 21 and 12 out of him, causing all sorts of problems for UniLad. We need to see the SMGs warm up just a little bit here. Scrapped 15 and 18. You expect maybe a little bit of a better performance out of him. If he starts frying, it's really, really easy for UniLad to start rolling in the game. Right now, though, Enigma6 are just answering every single question they're throwing at them. All the gunfights going in their favor in this past minute.
Yep, absolutely everything. You know, they don't rotate first. It was UniLad that had that setup. All of a sudden, you have a couple of players from E6 push straight through fire. They managed to win the important gunfights, and they take control of Main Street. And they did it, making it look so simple. And this is where it's going to be a little dangerous for UniLad, because E6 could turn this into a massive, massive money hill. General ultimately falls, so it takes Wuskin to get a triple kill to eventually break through. And I mean, yes, there's still 25 seconds left. Diabolic may have one little bash at this with Sender in support. E6, they really want to kind of kill this game off on this hill.
And they've done well. You know, if UniLad get all of that scrap time easy enough, they're not going to get the majority of it. Then it's only a 20-point game. At this point, if Enigma6, well, okay, they're going to pick up more, but just the swing that it makes is so much better in Enigma6's favor, not allowing UniLad to get any of that scrap time easy. Good work by them, but going down the warehouse, it's fairly evenly contested already. Both teams inside. Let's see what Diabolic chooses to do here. Does have PPSH in hand. Both teams waiting for some sort of pinch that they can develop, or just an engagement that they can win. General taking down scraps in the mid-map, so this might be the point where Enigma6 push through. Wuskin answers back with a kill of his own, but Diabolic right now just waiting for something to happen in both teams. I mean, this works out in Enigma6's favor.
This is exactly what you want Diabolic to do. Just contest, wait for your teammates to get support, see if they can get a couple of kills. Now, of course, he can try and make a play of his own. That's going to be 2. Diabolic looking for the 3rd, has him one shot. Teammate there in support. Bear in mind, UniLad invested a fighter pilot in that as well, and it's still E6 that get hill control, and that just comes from an experienced play from Diabolic. Just don't challenge. You do not need to. The hardpoint is contested. Wait for the cavalry to come.
Yeah, and they're in the lead, and that's all they need to do. UniLad clearly getting frustrated. They can't hang around. When it's so contested, they have to push. They need to get some points on the board. 40 points behind. They need to push through. They do eventually get the scrap as we do move towards barrels, but really good work by Enigma6. If anything, they just stopped the bleeding there a little bit. It could have been bad because we've seen UniLad get over. If that streak works out, then they maybe could do something. But in the end, Enigma6 come off better.
And it was Barrel Hill, if you remember, in the first rotation where E6 really excelled, especially the early time. If I'm UniLad, you have to break this very, very quickly. And you can see again, Shawnee going for that very familiar flank. This time, not actually going to be able to pick up the kill. Hardpoint's contested, so the collapse is coming through. You see the nade come out, and UniLad, just like that, take control of barrels.
Yeah, much better this time around. They had it closer spawn from the mid-map as well. They were able to push in while Shawnee pinches through, and really good work. And we can see Enigma6 spawn all the way out towards Bus. Not good from them. They need to try and break through. Sender's going to try and do it all on his own. Nobody else from Enigma6 up right now in a position to help him out. Shot's going to be fired, but he's doing enough to contest. They're playing the smart players once again. Don't need to get too aggressive. Wait on the rest of his team. Contest, do as much as you can. Shawnee and Scraps picking up 2, though. Shawnee going to get a 2nd as well, and they are going to clear them out. The majority of the time on barrels going over towards UniLad. See, Enigma6 are set up at creating them.
Yep, this is going to be big for E6 to once again try and build that little bit of a cushion, because UniLad did fantastic at just chipping away at that early lead. As it stands, though, Diabolic is basically the key player here for E6. He has to try and win a couple of gunfights. It's not going to happen, and UniLad, they've kind of just shifted into that next gear.
Yeah, and we can see Scraps is starting to pick up there now. When he's picking up kills like that, we know that Scraps is starting to fry, and that's going to be a problem for E6 if he starts heating up here on the main stage. On board with Wuskin now. That kill's going to be cleaned up by Shawnee. He should be dead momentarily from behind. That's going to be Diabolic to clean that one outside of water, but they're going to get cleared once again. E6 up. They do get the close spawn towards Bus, as we're going to see UniLad potentially take the lead for the first time since the first hill here. Nope, E6 going to get 3 kills. 1 member left. and it's going to be Wuskin. He goes down, so they clear them out. 20 more points on the board, potentially here for E6, but the streak's coming in from Shawnee.
Yeah, and I like that response from him. He's basically saying, nope, we're not going to give you that free 15 seconds. We're going to keep it contested. We're going to keep the pressure on. We're really going to force this third rotation to see if E6 are going to make those mistakes. And if they do, they have more streaks to capitalize on it. I mean, of course, you can see Shawnee there with the artillery and the glide bomb ready to use. So E6 now, your backs are against the wall. You had a fantastic start. You've built yourself a cushion. Now, however, UniLad, they're coming back all guns blazing.
Yeah, and as we go into the third rotation, it's pretty much an even game. UniLad are going to pick up those first few points on Statue, but backwards and forwards we go between these two teams, and we're just seeing it starting to heat up in UniLad's favor. Now, Shawnee, with the streaks available, they're surely going to be influential as we go towards main road as well.
I think that's the key. That's where you expect to see Shawnee use those streaks, is on that main road hill. He has a glide bomb, he has an artillery barrage, right? He can use those to just break, so you can almost be a little lazy if you want to on that rotation. Yeah. Obviously, you don't recommend it, but you want to at least split the time here on Statue. If you can do that, you can force E6 to really be in a little bit of a pickle, if nothing else. And you can see Wuskin already thinking about maybe playing for that rotation, recognizing, hey, if we can win these early gunfights here, really force E6 to spawn out, maybe a lower dock spawn, but in actual fact, no, it's still UniLad spawning out. So E6, this time is going to be important, but Sender can't really play for it because he recognizes he has to play for Main Street. It's the money hill. His teammates are there, and the final 2 seconds, of course, pop, and UniLad now just need, what, 29 points?
Streak will surely come in towards the back here. I'm expecting Shawnee to start calling it pretty shortly. I think he's just waiting on the team getting in some sort of position. Like you can see he's calling in. Abizi's walks straight past him. He is going to catch him in the end. The glide bomb catches nobody though. Scraps is going to kill at the general, and a good hill hold so far from E6. This kill's coming in towards the back though. That is going to be Scraps and Moose. They look trying to look for a pinch. I think it's Shawnee still calling in streaks. No, he's going to be coming in from behind. Moose makes 2. Shawnee and Moose come through. That's 3 kills in a row from Moose. Breaking the hill with 30 seconds to go. They could win here, Ben.
And this is where you're just going to see streaks rain down from above, right? You can use your glide bomb, 27 seconds. You're going to be able to win on this hill, so you expect to see pretty much everything invested here. Wouldn't surprise me as well if you potentially even saw the artillery barrage. That could come in straight at the front. Instead, it looks like they're just going to leave Moose to basically just use all of his streaks. He's on the hill, of course. 8 streak, 9 streak. The fighter pilot comes through. E6 spawning so far out. The artillery barrage, that's been placed mid-map. That's just fantastic spawn knowledge from UniLad, what you expect from a team of that caliber, and they close out map number 1, but by no means was that comfortable. They had to work for that. They really did.
Absolutely not comfortable at all. E6 really had a good start, and I think it was down to Abizi winning the S&G game against the subs and the flex player of UniLad. He was really causing a lot of problems up close and personal on the rotations as well. In the end, it just doesn't stem into the end of the game. We see UniLad starting to heat their shots up a little bit, starting to win gunfights they weren't winning in the first couple of minutes. And that's what it comes down to. As soon as they get a hold of those streaks, it makes things a lot more interesting. They take that map number 1 fairly comfortably in the end, but not as easy as we would have thought. E6 definitely turning up here and providing themselves a series.
Yeah, I mean, Moose had a fantastic series. I think he finished 35 kills, so a great performance from him. And then on the flip side, of course, we mentioned General's slow start. He was just basically trying to play inside the hill, but losing a couple key fights there didn't really allow much to go in their favor.
Well, we did see Wuskin start to heat up towards docks here as well, and I mean, this was the moment where we've seen E6 keep a hold. No, sorry, it might be on the second rotation. Sorry, where Diabolic stayed alive for so long. And that's where they seem to have most of their luck towards Warehouse. But other than that, UniLad, I mean, they kept it scrappy in the first few minutes.
Yep.
And then when they started, I said, to heat up, that's when they caused so many problems.
And it was really, you know, the barrel building. You kind of mentioned it, Ton. You know, the first rotation, E6 did fantastic. And that was where they were really able to earn a ton of their points, if you think about it. And it was the second rotation where UniLad were completely different. They managed to break the hill very, very quickly and instantly get control.
Well, just going through a replay of a few of the moments here in this game, and just looking at a few of the games going on, Heretics and Reckless taking on each other right now. I did see Cyclone playing against Rise Nation as well. Rise having a shaky start. I think they only win that by 5 points in the Hardpoint against the UK National Circuit champions right now. So, I mean, fair enough for them to getting all the way through here. They didn't do it in any of the events so far this year, and proving that they're a pretty decent team going up against Rise, but Rise not having the best of events so far.
I mean, you also have to bear in mind, it's pool play, first of all, but then it's also beginning of Saturday, right? You're playing against a team who's already had a couple of series under their belt. We mention it every single Saturday at Open Event. You almost expect it. They won the map, right? So it's not as if they ultimately lost that, but yeah, still a shaky performance, including what you saw yesterday. Hopefully, of course, for our reigning champs, you hope they manage to turn things up, but I kind of mentioned it at the very start of the show, Ton. You know, they're set in 3rd place. they're in a 3-way tie where they're losing based on map count because Epsilon take them to a game 5.
Yeah.
Reedy at it again, the dream killer of the North American squads, if you will. But I mean, that's not a place you thought our reigning champs would be. Potentially going straight down into losers.
There's some sharks in our losers bracket already.
Right.
I mean, Red Reserve looking like they're going to drop in there, Rise in there already as well. There's going to be some solid teams. We could see them two possibly bump into each other as well. I'm not too sure how the bracket plays out, of course, but I mean, we could be seeing first and second being knocked out in top 16, top 12 at this point. A couple of crazy results in pools, but there you go. E6 losing that first map to UniLad. Again, you look at the scoreline, 250 to 203 looks fairly comfortable, but it was anything but that. Enigma6 looked solid throughout that map number 1, but in the end, UniLad's experience just proving to be too much. London Ducks, S&D coming up next. Of course, that wasn't actually Ardennes that we just played there. It was London Ducks, so I don't know if we're going to be playing Ardennes. Search and destroy.
Ardennes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Mixed up.
Yeah, we'll go straight to the forest for game 2 here. As I mean, E6 traditionally and historically known to be a very, very good organization. Maybe they pick up very good search and destroy players, right? Like when it comes to S&D, you always kind of look at E6 and you think, all right, well, what can you bring to the table? And honestly, I think after that map 1, it's important for them to maybe just get a little bit of momentum rolling here in game 2. But UniLad, to their credit, search and destroy has been a game mode where you've seen wonderful things from in stage 1.
Well, the first kill is going to come in from Diabolic, and it just seems as if UniLad have run into the crosshairs of Enigma6. I mean, the thing is, Enigma6 there don't even necessarily establish too much control. They don't get anybody up top plat. They just sort of sit back and wait for UniLad to try to establish that control themselves and win the gunfights.
And I'm pretty sure that all happened because Moose missed his stun. Right. The smoke grenades went out, and E6 said, all right, you're going to smoke us, we're just going to push straight through. We didn't get hit by a stun, no nades really flew across, so we're just going to immediately dominate that B site. And that's something which, on defense, you kind of have to do, right? Unless you're going to sit back and maybe have someone try and snipe a lane, which is a bit 50-50, if I'm honest. But really good start there from E6. But now it's important when you have that 4 versus 2 situation, you don't let it go. And what's going to get in a freebie right there on General. I mean, General, I don't want to kind of call him out there, but that's either a gunfight that you need to be closer to your teammates with, or you just shouldn't be allowed to get picked.
Yeah, and he had a poor map 1 as well, so maybe he needs to step it up here for his team. But Enigma6 in control of this one with 20 seconds to go there. You know exactly where that bomb is as well. You can see pretty much collapse themselves in and around that. It's going to be very hard for Moose and Wuskin to do anything here with 15 seconds remaining.
And it's a beautiful setup as well for E6, right? You just look, they have the flank covered in the form of a BZ. Moose realistically should not be allowed to really push this far forward. It's now 2v2, 4 seconds left. They recognize they can't plant the bomb. All you have to do here if you're E6 is stay alive, and it could potentially just crumble, but it doesn't. I was a little worried there when I saw someone from E6 push over towards that mid-map side. You would have much preferred them maybe just play back bunker. Just play your life. You know they can't plant the bomb.
If Moose turns right there instead of checking his left, he nearly catches them both. So unfortunate there.
That could have been tragic. Yeah,
it could have been very, very bad. E6 were well and truly set up for that round, and a couple of seconds here or there, and they could have lost it. But in the end, they do win either way. 1-0 now in this search and destroy, and they need to bounce back after losing that first map as well. Diabolic with 2 kills in that round. Wuskin 2 kills of his own and doesn't die as well, so that's important for UniLad looking towards streaks further into the game.
Now, of course, it's going to be E6 on the attacking side, and well, you can see the bomb carrier over towards bunker. That is, of course, going to be a BZ. Seems like the B site, of course, not going to be the Enigma6 intent so far. Of course, they could try and hit it straight through mid, but they're so worried about Shawnee. This is a position where, I mean, if you've watched any UniLad and Ardennes Forest, you know Shawnee's going to be right back there on that barrel heady, just waiting very, very patiently. But a BZ with a sniper rifle actually gets that first pick.
I was just thinking to myself, Wuskin really holding that A side down well. He did it last time he challenged General and gets to the gunfight and wins that one. This time around, though, they snipe him and clear him out. We haven't seen E6 maybe take any initiative with that one.
And look what it's done, though, defensively. It's drawn Shawnee once again to rotate over towards that A site. They're so worried that, of course, E6 now have that lane completely open. But to your point, they've not really done much, right? You look at the positioning, the setup. I mean, yes, it looks as if maybe now it's going to be the A push. The smokes go out. Shawnee could be in a world of pain. Has to backtrack over towards the bomb. It's going to be Diabolic first. He managed to win the gunfight. You have to anticipate someone to the right. BZ could be in a world of pain as well. Beautiful stuff from Shawnee. Just staying alive. Buys his teammates some time. Scraps is now able to rotate over towards the bomb site. He ultimately drops. It's Zender with a double, but there's a bayonet to the heart. And realistically, what looked as if it could have gone all wrong there, manages to just turn things around right at the very end.
Shawnee does everything right, staying alive, picks up 2 kills as well. And then in the end, it comes down to Sender picking up 3 kills in and around cabin. Great movement from him in and around the windows and the doors. Does fantastic job. Another round on the board for E6, and well deserved in that case. You know, they opened it up well. We thought they would maybe get a little bit more aggressive towards A straight away, but they took their time in the end, winning the gunfight. Smart plays by them.
And it just shows you how important sometimes holding onto those tacticals can be. You hear both smokes pop. It allows them to just completely flood over towards cabin alley. And you know that Shawnee, in that situation, should get traded out a little quicker. Obviously, that would have been E6's original plan, but over to this one. Scrapsy's going to push straight through mid-map, and BZ with a first blood.
Let's get out.
Traded. Diabolic, of course, he's still going to be there, but he wasn't expecting Moose to hit that. And once again, now UniLad with the man advantage.
They're in a good position here as well. They've really established plenty of control. General knows the bomb's there, though, and Scraps needs to get away with getting a hold of it. Does so. That should be called out now, and it's going to be down to Sender to potentially do something here, but
it's so important that Sender and General peek this at the same time. Sender grabs one. Can he find the second? Instantly traded out from Wuskin. And as General, he went for that peek there. 2 players from UniLad already looking. You would have liked to see that maybe happen a little quicker there on General's part.
A little bit more cohesion there, and it becomes an easier round. But, I mean, they know where they come from. They know there's somebody mid-map as well. It really just comes down to winning your gunfights. In the end, they're not able to do that, and the round does go over towards UniLad, the first of this map, I should say. Sorry. E6 2-1 up now, looking towards it. Anybody picking up any specific amount of kills? Only Wuskin at 4-1, really 4-2 out Sender. General, again, having a poor map here. He had a poor map number 1-2, so needs to step it up if he can do it. We've seen Enigma6, a couple of flashes of brilliance here, and not looking too far away from UniLad, but they're still up in this map, and it wasn't too bad in the first. There's still hope for them in this series.
Oh, it most definitely is. And no, just a little bit of an adjustment there from Wuskin. Plays a different angle and lands some free shots there onto a BZ. Shawnee, he's rotated over towards cabin alley, and that's just a beautiful nade. Perfect placement from him. And it's a first blood for UniLad, their first so far of the game, but instantly mid-map control just gets flooded by E6, and Moose is actually in a great position to maybe go for a little bit of a flank here. He's been spotted, and it's going to force E6 to basically make their mind up and really control that A side. The problem, however, is the player that had the bomb was a BZ. Of course, he was sniping, so someone's going to have to backtrack and pick that up.
Done well to take this round longer than it should do. Scraps absolutely melts Diabolic. It's now 2 versus 2, and what looked like an easy win for E6 is suddenly a round that's...
And I'm kind of surprised to see Scraps rotate over towards this B site here. You know you had bomb down. You got the audio indicator, and realistically, with 30 seconds left, if you're watching mid-map, you know no one's going to rotate through. But instead, now he sets himself up for a little bit of a bunker flank, if you will. Sender in general, will they be reading this? Of course, you see Moose waiting so patiently. It's such a common spot to have someone back rocking. It's basically Scraps' job here to see if he can potentially find that pick onto General, or even Sender in the site, but Sender manages to pick up Scraps, so he ultimately falls. Moose now for the 1v2.
Yeah, whoever makes that first initial kill on that interchange of players, it's going to come down to that, and in the end it is going to be E6 to take that one. And an easy enough round for them in the end. It could have been a lot easier, though. Every single round has sort of went backwards and forwards, and in the end, E6 do prevail in that one, but UniLad not making it easy for them in any shape or form.
Yeah, keeping it close, but E6 3-1 up here in game 2, Search and Destroy. Of course, they lost map 1, so it's important for them to bounce back here. Sender at 6-2, though. What a game he's had so far. And he also has that plant, but really, you look at that first blood column, and I think that's really what tells you the story, right? 3 for E6, 1 for UniLad. And it's just been consistent mid-map pressure from E6, both on defense and attack, and General draws another first blood, this time with a nade on Moose.
Good stuff by General, starting to step it up here. If Shawnee can win this gunfight, though, that could definitely change things up right now. They've got 3 players, they've got 8 down. This isn't an impossible hold from UniLad at all. Enigma6 is a hard one to break. 3 versus 3. Gotta say, it's in UniLad's hands to win this round. Wuskin has put himself in a great position as well, getting aggressive. Sender goes down, BZ is not, but good stuff. He takes down 1, and the pressure's there. That's gonna get the intel for his team as well. Now 2 versus 2, and Shawnee and Scraps got to defend this site.
And Wuskin read that absolutely beautifully. Recognized, all right, well, we've not seen anyone mid-map. No one's back bridge. They have to be flanking bunker. He gets all the information he needs, and now his teammates are set up in a perfect position to potentially just try and clutch this up. Shawnee now has eyes on both. Diabolic's going to fall. And just like that, UniLad pick up their second round. A wonderful read, which basically just came from information.
Yeah, really good stuff. And what I like from Shawnee, he was there, the trigger discipline. He sees one pass. And the reason they do that is just to bait him out. They know there's going to be somebody inside the cabin. He doesn't fire too soon. Waits for the guys to try and do something at that point. And great work there by UniLad to take that round. 3-2 now to E6. Looking solid in this Search and Destroy, but it's gone backwards and forwards. And the Hardpoint was looking good at the start as well, as did the S&D. So Can UniLad bring it back once again?
Abizi keeping the sniper rifle out on attack, of course. It's been working for him a few rounds. Of course, we'll see if he's able to get that first blood once again, 2 to his name already, one of which was with that sniper rifle in the earlier rounds. It's interesting that they want him to also carry that bomb as he tries to make the aggressive plays over towards A, but it's a beautiful little bait and switch there that comes through. Sender, he's able to find 1-2 for him ultimately over towards that A site. And he looks as if he's just such a comfortable player at this A site, right? It's very often you see players kind of maybe just panic a little bit whenever they get over this side of the map, but Sender making it very much his home, 8-3 stat line, and you see them set up perfectly here for a 3v2.
I mean, we typically do see a lot more B action, but A has really been the dominant side so far in this game. I think, well, this is the 4th round that we've went here now, in round number 6, and it's going to be a really hard retake from Scraps and Moose here. 2 versus 3, it's always going to be an issue. Let's see if Scraps can get this first kill, it maybe opens things up.
But he almost has to be patient, right? Because look at what the flank Moose has gone for. He's gone all the way through bunker, and that kind of seems to be UniLad's kind of woes here in the search and destroy. They're pacing when they're in these kind of clutch scenarios, these 2v2s or these 2v3s. It just doesn't seem as if it's fully kind of in sync, if you will, for lack of a better word. And I mean, E6, that's a round they're just not going to lose.
I mean, that was an issue they had against Vitality yesterday on...
really?
I think it was when they played St. Marie was and yeah, they have people flanking, but it's like 20 seconds left to go, and they're going all the way around the back to get towards B, and it's taking at least 15 seconds for that to come in, so pacing obviously being a problem so far. They are down in this S&D. Of course, they did win that first map, but at this moment in time, E6 fully in control here.
Those definitely are. They look good to tie things up. 1-1, 4-2 lead here in the search and destroy. It goes back over towards UniLad on the attacking side. Haven't really seen much intent through mid-map, and that's what you're actually going to get to see this round. Scraps throws out the stun, connects, and that's just going to give license to fly over towards General. Instead, he may actually want to try and put General off a little bit here, go for a Cabanelli flank, and teammates actually push over towards B, and Abizi's there to pick up a free double. Scraps ultimately trades, but once again, numerical advantage in favor of V6.
Yeah, the starts are just really harming UniLad here. Big style.
What you would love to see right there as a little bit of a difference from UniLad, if you're going to throw that stun and you're going to hit General, throw a smoke to cover your kind of U, right? Because if you smoke that out, you can push straight through. You don't have to worry about anyone on that B site. It gives you full license to just hit mid, take control, and then from there your options are kind of endless, right? You can go towards the A site, or you can flank all the way back around through bridge over towards the B site. It's just doing the same thing over and over again. It's just not working. You need to adapt.
Well, Wuskin literally touching toes with General as he does manage to take him down in the end. Enigma6 now 1 round away from taking the search and destroy. Look very, very strong so far in this one. General closing it out on Wuskin, and UniLad's first blood wars continue.
Yep, it's really been the downfall, right?
I mean, if you're always playing the negative numbers, it's never going to be easy to win any rounds. They've got a couple.
That is very true, Tom. When you have the man down, I mean, look at the first blood column, 4, 5, 6 for E6, just a 1 for UniLad. I mean, it's a miracle they've managed to win 2 rounds, right?
Yeah.
Really.
By the way, that E6 have played their numbers so far as well. It's been fantastic. This kill going to come in from Abizi.
And I love the change-up, right? Abizi's been using the sniper rifle every single round. And do you see what that did to UniLad? They had to send 2 players over to that A site. They dedicated it because they thought that's where the push was going to come. Abizi pulls out the sub and applies infinite amount of pressure now over towards B. Numbers advantage once again in their favor as Abizi looks to try and find his 3rd. Wuskin one-shot. Surprised we didn't see that traded out.
Wuskin staying alive, but E6 looking good off the back of Abizi's 4th first blood. They take map number 2 in pretty convincing fashion, 6-2 there. And again, I mean, we're talking about the first blood so much in that one because, I mean, it was so one-sided. E6 winning that many, you're always going to win a few rounds, and they just string them together very nicely. UniLad giving too much away at the beginning of rounds.
I think that one is just simply put, E6 had more kind of strats to run, right? They had more things to show on that map than UniLad. UniLad kind of did the same thing a few times on the attacking side. We didn't really see any hardcore A pushes. They were a little kind of scared, if you will, of playing that A site. The only time they ever went through mid was when they wanted to cut back in through U towards B, and E6 showed us a whole different variety of things.
I think the word would be tentative. That's what it was, wasn't it? They were sort of just taking their time a little bit too much and not really committing to anything. In the end, E6 walk away as winners in that one. I mean, fairly convincingly.
Yeah, they most definitely do. Of course, that's going to set up a Game 3, London Docks CTF, where it's all tied up. And I mean, I mentioned E6. This is a team that can cause some upsets. Like, yeah, people shouldn't look at this squad and think, oh, yeah, it's going to be one of those kind of open bracket teams that come into pools, they go 0-4, they go lose bracket, we're not going to hear about them again. not the case with this squad. It has some talented players who have been around for a very, very long time. I mean, you look at Diabolic, for example. He finished second at playoffs back in Black Ops 3. Like, this is a player who knows what it's like to compete at the very top level. Yes, you can say, oh, he's an open bracket, but it doesn't really matter, right? This is a very, very experienced roster who've been playing Call of Duty for the longest period of time.
I mean, I think the only thing is I was chatting to the UniLad guys because I was trying to find out who was going to slot into their pool. They weren't sure at that point, but they were saying they don't want anybody, they want somebody pretty good to come in because they need some results to go in their favor on the other side of things. Yes, okay, they need to win this match themselves, of course, but they want E6, it's a strong team to challenge FaZe, to challenge Team Caliber, sorry. So they need somebody decent. They need somebody to actually win some other games for them.
Problem is, you don't want them to be too good because then they end up beating you ultimately, which could be the case here. Either way, of course, UniLad E6 all tied up, one map apiece. For now, we're going to do a quick commercial. When we return, however, it's the London Dogs CTF. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CWL Birmingham, presented by PlayStation 4. Of course, we're live day 2, and it's the first game of the day here. Plenty of Call of Duty action still to come. And the first game up on the main stage. E6 versus UniLad. Ton, we're all tied up, one map apiece.
Yeah, E6 looking very strong in the Search and Destroy. The hardpoint was fairly close until the last few hills, really, and then that's when UniLad really took over. But, I mean, E6 well and truly in this series, they could still well and truly take these next 2 maps. It wouldn't be a surprise. They've looked very, very good. UniLad not looking as good, I would think, as we've seen them in the Pro League last week. I think they're very, very strong there. If they turned up and played like that against E6 now, I think this is an easy enough, comfortable win for them. But right now, I don't think they're playing to their potential so far this weekend. Yeah,
it's weird. I kind of mentioned it before, right? Like, I feel like often they play to their opponents, and I feel like they're a team who sometimes underestimate who they're going up against.
Yeah.
You know, yes, you're playing a team from open bracket, but it doesn't mean they don't have a ton of experience and have quality with them as well. And if you're UniLad, okay, it's all good and well that you can, go to game 5s with, the top teams in divisions, but you have to be able to beat everyone, right?
I mean, what if they beat Vitality? Because TK are top with the, I'm not too sure how it works when there's 3 of them tied or beating each other.
It would be interesting. It goes to map count based in between the 3 teams tied.
So, I mean, if they'd had a convincing win against Vitality, then they would have been top.
Which they should have done.
Yeah, you would expect.
Let's be honest, this was a Vitality team who, no disrespect to them, I know they're coming out here with a point to prove, but they weren't exactly fantastic in the Pro League, right? So, I mean, UniLad have no right to really be losing that type of game.
No. They put themselves in that position, and now, I mean, this is the most win against E6 with only 1 win under UniLad's belt. So if they lose this one, Enigma6 could go on a tear and really start taking over them in there.
That's a scary thing, right? E6 win this. They've had, 2 games already this morning. This will be their 3rd. They then go up against another team in the pool who haven't played at all. They have confidence because they're on a bit of a win spree. I mean, E6 could do some serious damage in this pool.
Well, London Docks Search and Destroy was not the one we played Ardennes. That went over to E6, and we're going to be actually playing Docks.
Flak.
Is it Flak or is it playing Docks?
Oh, it's Docks.
I don't know, it did come in the Vita that it was Flak, but we are playing Docks. So getting into this one now, UniLad. I feel like they need a win here. I think if E6 win this one, then they should win the series. I feel whoever wins this map wins the series, personally. I think,
we were kind of talking, well, it depends. Is map 4 definitely Ardennes Forest?
Well, yeah, that's a good question now, isn't it? Who knows? Who knows? But getting into this one now, I do think, we need to see a win from E6 if they want to try and drag the series to the last map, because I just think the hardpoint will go over towards UniLad. UniLad don't want to let this go all the way to the last map, I think, after we've just seen the performance in the S&D from Enigma6.
Right. Of course, E6 coming in already, looking strong, and you're right, that is a flag. It means you just kind of stroll straight through. And honestly, I think this CTF about to get interesting. I actually want to send it now down to an Astro Gaming listening with Enigma6.
Okay.
10's one shot.
I'll go for 10.
Other side.
One
more 10.
10
and beer. 10 and beer. 10 and beer.
10 zombie knocks. He's one hit.
I'll pick up the left. I'll pick up the left.
He's going to our base from crane.
All right.
Back ramp.
He pulled middle. He pulled middle. He pulled middle.
There's one more crane.
We stay alive for me. One at old.
Watch your back, Tyler. Watch your back, Tyler.
Yo, flag inside our fire.
Behind you.
Flag inside our fire.
He's weak.
We're good. Okay, get control. We can take a shortcut. We can get it. Last 2 we take shortcuts.
I'm going through fire.
We're gonna be on our side. I don't know if that guy's gonna get streaks or not.
One stop post steps. He's front fire.
Front fire's dead.
Nice, that's one.
One was apples.
Cut. He went front.
Front fire.
Okay.
He's pushing in.
He's
in the left side.
Got him. That's 2.
Grab some Weskin.
Apples corner. Weskin.
Watching it.
I'm at the pool OE.
One, no, they're already up. They're gonna be watching this. Play for the kills.
We're middle right now.
Nice.
Good job. Try pulling a beer.
Push out the water.
We're looking for.
Yo, one's at our base. He's going to our base from cut. Cut one shot. He's holding in the right side corner. Just
get inside.
Inside. Watch your back, Tyler.
He's street. Nice,
Go for it.
Front fire cut.
Push out the OE. Push out the OE.
Fire.
OE, scraps.
Okay, one's in our fire.
Push our OE. On our flag.
On our flag, one shot. One more here. I got 2. Let's go, baby.
We're looking for.
One has water. I'm staying down.
Johnny Weskin.
In our fire. He's pulling instantly. He's pulling crane steps. He pulled crane steps. He pulled crane steps.
There's 2 there.
There's 2 of them. Hold. You gotta chase now. You gotta chase now.
2's gonna be top middle.
I'm trying to watch your cross. Did you already cross? You already crossed.
I'm pinching top mid.
Got him for you.
Post steps, I'm pretty sure.
I need it over.
He's post steps, scraps.
Stunned it. Yes, scrap that. That's 2. I'm getting less side control.
Johnny Weskin.
And then beer right now.
That's 2. It's 2.
Last guy capped.
Yeah, last got capped. He could have went like to the beer steps or something.
No, he's probably gonna be ramp.
I don't see him ramp.
Okay, need their peg. I'm picking up SCG. Hold on.
I'm left right now.
I'll work left.
I left control.
I'm watching their peg.
Nade him on their flag.
Yo, he's in the corner. He's pushing down the ramp. He pushed down the ramp with the sub.
Watch my left.
Push on the ramp. That's him. Beer steps. Beer steps. Beer steps. Watch our we up for spawn and then beer steps.
One shot.
Both of them. Both are there. Both are there. Both are there.
Beer steps in a beer.
Yeah. When you guys get it. Yeah. When you guys get a shortcut. I am. When you guys get hit a shortcut though.
I will.
I'll wrap back to you, Jordan.
Yeah. Give my fire.
I got it. Okay, I'm going with you, Steven.
Give it fire.
What's top mid?
One left on me. One more outside of fire. Outside of fire, weak. He went our crane steps. Crane steps right now. Pull. Last guy crane steps.
Block water for me, Steven.
Last guy crane steps, Tyler. Play like a hoe. Play like a hoe. One still our crane steps.
Oh, he's
All right, I stun crane.
He's on the back right of the base, by the barrel, Steven.
Tyler, watch your back base. Watch your back base, Tyler.
Slow it down.
I didn't have a
Went for me. They're gonna go for a pull.
I spawn back at race.
Yeah, run into him. He needs help. Good job. Watch your front fire, pre-fire.
Yeah, I know him.
Hold for me. Hold for me. You have a stun too.
Stunning in.
Yo, hit a shortcut, Steven. Hit a shortcut,
I
Steven.
got him stunned inside.
Use your streak chest. Stay down if you can.
I'm trying to.
I'm staying out, crane. I died.
Flag. Actually, I'm
I'm staying alive.
You're gonna know I'm
One here on me. One shot dead.
Full steps.
Nice.
Good job. One more. Yeah.
What's the fire? What's the fire?
Fire on me. Crane. Dead.
Last one's fire. Take your time.
There, of course, a wonderful insight into E6's communication. Cool, calm, and collected for the most part. Of course, the game first started with a very, very quick flag cap for E6, but things have kind of changed a little bit as that game has started to develop a little bit there. Of course, you see Wascom running that flag. He may actually get streaks by converting that flag in. He's on a 3 streak and gets the flag cap. If he hasn't got streaks already, he's going to be dangerously close.
Yeah, he's going to be very close. I mean, what we noticed from this game so far, it's essentially being a case of a very scrappy flag. It's not necessarily been any sort of control and domination from any team. It's a case of maybe getting a couple of kills, pulling the flag, just going the right direction and not being read quite so well. And nobody's really established any sort of control to do anything with it, but we still have 6 flags on the board. That's the thing. I mean, it's been a very scrappy game.
That's what London Dogs can do, right?
Yeah,
you can just instantly get a couple of kills, pull the flag, and, well, you're gone. Abizi picks up some streaks of his own now, so both teams have an extra bit of artillery, if you will, that they can potentially use as Abizi tries to get a few more kills, but no, Diabolic had that flag. He already just booked it, so that's actually going to be a 4-3 game now for E6.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've seen anyone sort of establish control either on barrels or fire. This is the first time we've seen it. General doing a good job here, 12 and 10, definitely stepping his game up after those first 2 maps. As we go into the half, it's looking like it's going to be 4-3 to Enigma. Said they want more.
They could get one more. All they need to do is touch the flag, force an extra 60 seconds. The problem is the glide bomb was used. You need someone to touch that flag. General's going to be the first one to attempt it, but sadly, it just seemed like maybe a bit of a pacing issue there. They weren't really close enough to pull that flag, and players coming off spawn in quick succession there for UniLad keeps it a 4-3 game.
Yeah, managing to keep a hold of their flag, and in the end, I said a very scrappy game. We can see that in London Docks, as said, but the first time that we see anyone sort of establish some sort of control in one of those primary spots where you want to get it, they start getting flags, and we see E6 pick up 2 towards the end there. 4-3 up now as we go into the second half, and it's not looking great for UniLad here, although saying that we can see a massive, massive swing on this map. Very, very close game still.
And you mentioned it, heading into that game 4, you kind of favor UniLad in the hardpoint, right? So this is one of those maps where, if you're E6, you have to hold on to this lead. You really do if you want a good chance at forcing that game 5. Don't get me wrong, yes, they could win that hard point. Absolutely they could. But depending on what exactly map it is, I mean, UniLad have looked good in that game mode, but General off to a good start already. Abizi with the flag, and that's deja vu from what we saw in the first half. He's grabbed the flag. General gets his cuts mid-map. Now Abizi may actually have to do some work of his own. The fighter pilot called in. That ultimately slows down the flag, but Xander just jiggle peeks real quick, says no one's there. All right, don't mind if I do. 2 flag lead. Moose connects with the Kobe, but just a fraction too late.
That was nearly very good from Moose. Does get the kill in the end, but that may allow UniLad to get some pressure, but they soak it up so well. E6, 2 kills coming in there, and they completely shut down any sort of push that UniLad were trying to make. Okay, Moose does eventually make that kill onto Abizi. That's going to just sort of release some of the pressure in mid-map. That's all that does, but in the end, if he makes that second kill, UniLad fly, and they're looking for a flag, but in that moment, really good work by Diabolic, 2 streak for him. Good defensive work by E6, and a 2 flag cushion now as well.
And this is now where if you're E6, you have streaks already at your disposal. You can let some players maybe play a little slow. You have a 2 flag lead as well. Absorb a little bit of pressure and play for more streaks. Use the streaks to really spiral things out of control, because if you're a UniLad now, you may be kind of forced to put on a mountain class, right? You know there's still a fighter pilot at play. Abizi has that. You have to be very, very careful here if you're UniLad to make sure that you keep control of this game.
And the thing is here as well, you specifically said about mountain. If UniLad get pushed in and E6 gets some sort of control around fire, Obviously, UniLad are going to spawn out towards Useless. As soon as those streaks start coming in on this side, you can really start getting some flags rolling. And if E6 can get some sort of control, they will do just that. 2 kills come in. It's going to be up to Diabolic. Last man alive momentarily does go down. And you can see they're leaving General quite far back. I mean, I know he died quite recently anyway, but he's not really getting too aggressive with his team up there on fire. He's just sitting mid-map. I mean, he's quite happy to do this.
Doesn't need to do anything. All he needs to do is make sure that no one crosses over through that bust side, no one manages to go down bottom coal, and you see Sender spawn up, he now has control of that, so realistically, all General has to do is watch lower docks, and if his teammates die in fire, which they did, he covers that. Like, General's in the perfect position to just kind of be the anchor, if you will, almost of CTF, right? He just has to post up somewhere. He's a fantastic AR shot. I mean, we know that historically throughout his career. He's there for the trade. There's one. He actually gets a little bad timing there on Scraps. And
yeah, they didn't see him go past.
if Scraps is able to hit a nice little nade, he could go for a counter pull, but it's a 3-flag lead here for E6, and they're in cruise control. Absolutely.
Now, this would be important if UniLad can get this one in with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. It's looking like he should just about get past there. I'd be very, very surprised.
Abizi's streaking. Abizi's going to use his fighter pilot. He recognizes that he didn't go through fire. He went over towards Bust. So the only escape is if he goes into Useless, but Abizi managed to get the kill already. Is there a potential chance at a flag stop? I don't think so. That was the only streak used. It does delay the flag cap, but ultimately, cap still goes in.
I mean, I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, but when Abizi uses that, there's not really anybody else in control from E6. There's nobody in a position, even if he makes a couple of kills to return that, it just slows it down, if anything, and they get nothing from it, so it's a streak wasted. But I suppose they've got some sort of control from that. They are going to pull this flag down the street side. He's going to somehow get away with it. Does actually stick Wuskin. I thought he did anyway. It seems as if he got a hit marker from that one.
But fun fact, you get stuck with a Semtex and you run towards a wall and you look at the wall, you don't die.
I have never actually seen that.
Well, you just did.
That's bizarre. I can't believe I didn't know that.
That's actually true.
That doesn't happen very often, though.
No.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think there's that many people actually know that, but fun fact.
Wuskin knows, and now does that. So does everybody else, me included. 6-4 now.
It's fine. It's the first day on Saturday, right? Most of the North Americans are still asleep. Don't worry. Use that one if you're European and rank play. Oh, dearie me. Abizi.
The flag.
He's such a nuisance to play against. He is. He really is. Just the way he's been able to pull some of these flags has been fantastic. General 24 and 17. What a way for him to step up. Obviously, we mentioned that after game 1 and 2. We'd love to see him kind of increase his performance. Streaks being rained down from above. That's from UniLad. No, they're just trying to secure this flag, but Diabolic actually manages to pull and get away as well. He is gone. Nike's on through mid-map. A wonderful decision from him to counter pull. However, Wuskin, he's in a position to go absolutely massive from UniLad, but I mean, if you're UniLad, you don't have time to waste. You have to get this return.
You have to absolutely do that. He needs to be a little bit more trigger discipline there. Just wait for the opportune moment. Now, it really does split things. We can see the whole of UniLad making their way towards it, but Scraps, he's the one with the flag, and he can call in them streaks, no problem. Takes down Diabolic. Wuskin takes down Sender, but they are there to defend. General having a fantastic game, as mentioned. He's going to shut that down. They need to get this return very, very quickly. They're going to get that one in. It's going to be 6-5 now. They should be able to put that flag in. That flag should be getting pulled. It's going to be down to Diabolic. They try and defend, gets 2 as well. Is there anybody else going to be in a position? It's only going to be Shawnee. All 4 members of Enigma6 staring at him as well. Diabolic picks up his 3rd. Enigma6 pick up their 2nd map. They're 2-1 up.
I mean, you can't give Diabolic enough praise for how he just played. Yeah, it's a high five, General. Move the cable. It's going to be okay. But you can't give Diabolic enough credit for how he played the final 60 seconds of that game. If you're E6, you're buying him a pint at the end of that game, to be completely honest with you, because that was phenomenal stuff. He's able to get the counter pull away when the rest of his teammates die and escape with his life, put the pressure completely back on UniLad. Yes, he dies, doesn't matter, because as soon as he comes off spawn, he picks up a huge 2-piece to stop UniLad getting another flag and tying up the game. A wonderful end there from him.
Yeah, E6 looking solid now. We know that we do favour UniLad in the hard points. We've seen that in the first map, but winning that 250 to 200. Going into this one now, even if they win it, we go to an S&D where E6 looked so strong, so it's not looking great for UniLad yet.
Right, it really isn't. You know, CTF, no surprise for me that E6 are a solid team when it comes to that game mode. I mean, you have Sender, who's been playing since 2012. Like, he's played CTF across many, many different Call of Duty titles. He has a ton of experience. His first event was, I think it was an NJ Halo Codzilla event. So, like, that's how long he's been. He's a young guy as well, so he really has been playing for a very, very long time. I mentioned as well, you know, Diabolic got 2nd at playoffs back in, I think it was, Black Ops 3? I think it was Stage 2. Well, Sender was his teammate there as well. So, he picked up 2 very, very experienced players. And I think E6 now really are kind of sitting in a good position. You know, you have a BZ who's a young, very, very aggressive player. I mean, you saw the impact he had in the CTF.
Yeah.
Just consistently being a pain. He was a thorn in their side, consistently pulling the flag, putting pressure on, really forcing UniLad to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, and again, for me, General playing so well on that map is what really gets them going. You know, if he plays better in those first 2 maps, it's easier for E6 to get something out of it, but in the end, he starts heating up in that 3rd, and they eventually win it pretty comfortable.
They most definitely do. Well, I want to take a look at our CWL play of the game, presented by Scuff Gaming. It came in part with Wuskin, really, here in the London Docks CTF. It was a fantastic individual effort. I mean, you can see just the work he's able to do, picks up 2, gets the flag as well. Now, bear in mind, look at how close to those streaks he was there. He ultimately is able to convert that flag for the extra points. A wonderful, wonderful individual effort from Wuskin, but sadly, it wasn't enough. E6, they took game 3, and they now sit pretty with a 2-to-1 flag cap lead, or flag cap 2-to-1 map count lead here as they look to close things out. I believe it's going to be a Hardpoint on Ardennes Forest, and that was one of the maps that you were kind of talking a little bit about UniLad's pressure and the way their sub-players are going to kind of lock things down. For me, though, I look at General, right? He had a very poor map 1, and it's very rare that you see those types of performances from him. Not too worried about the search and destroy, but stepped up massively in game 3. Showed his kind of comfort level, was kind of returning a little bit in the series. If he plays like that, going into an Ardennes Forest, again, ignore that graphic, it is incorrect. It will be an Ardennes Forest Hardpoint. If he plays that comfortably, I honestly could see E6 closing this one out.
They could. They very well could. I think if he plays as well as he did in the CTF and UniLad, don't step this one up. It's very much going to be a 3-1 series to Enigma6. You know, we know how strong the ARs can be on this map and how influential they can be. If he plays that well in this game, it's going to be hard for UniLad.
And that's going to be a massive wake-up call for everybody else in this pool. For everybody else in the pool. They sit and they watch, you know, a fantastic team in the form of UniLad fall, you know, 3-1, maybe even a 3-2 to E6. You have to really, really be cautious about that E6 squad because they could cause upsets. But either way, game 4 now officially underway. As we said, it's going to be a Hardpoint in Ardennes Forest. And we're going to kick things off on board with General. Obviously, we were talking a little bit about his slow start to the series and how he has stepped things up. Can he continuously show us that in game 4?
Well, posting himself up here towards cabin, and it's one of the better spots to use your strong ARs. If they can lock that down, you know, you can get quite a few points on cave as well. It's one of those where if you can clean the other team out, you can pick up a decent amount as you move towards ruins, and it's a few kills going to go in Enigma6's favor. I say a few, the majority, as members of every single member, of UniLad goes down, and E6 lock down that first initial control. They're getting the second wave of kills as well. Moose is going to run into Sender with the bar and a really good start from Enigma6. It's not what you want to see if you're a UniLad fan. There's plenty of Hardpoint and Ardennes to play yet. I mean, so far, what a start from Enigma6.
Almost an entire hill gone, and E6 have died a collective 3 times. You have Diabolic 4-streak, Abizi 4-streak, Sender 2-streak, he's on hill. Scraps does win a key fight, though, as Diabolic tries to rotate, so you might see UniLad get a little bit of life back here in the second hill over towards ruins, but with E6 shooting as well as they are right now, it wouldn't surprise me to see that entire setup just collapse.
Bowen moves up top here with the STG, and he really needs to lock it down from this top plat. Drops down, Sender does take him down. The streaks for Abizi not going to come in. He does get taken down, so works out all right for UniLad. They do keep control of ruins as well. Wuskin doing a great job covering that mid-map. 3 and 3 out of him. 2 streak though. Wait and see. Enigma6 choosing to go from clock tower side. They want to try and keep that side of the map if they can as we move towards a bunker, but Scraps and Moose answering back 2 kills apiece for them. Wuskin holding his side down as well. Keeps middle map control. And well held by UniLad, doing just as well as Enigma6 did on Kip.
And this is now where it gets super, super scary for E6 there. If Scraps was able to stay alive or win that fight, and in actual fact, he has a teammate now doing exactly the same thing in the form of Wuskin. If they were able to put that much pressure over towards back bunker, which in reality, I mean, you see where they've actually ended up spawning over towards that cabin side. Now they have full control of bunker as well. So they turn ruins into right about what, a 40-point hill. Now they have control of bunker as well. E6, yes, they started strong, but they kind of let that one slip away. It was a little unfortunate they didn't actually get any streaks from their initial push.
I was about to say all the kills are actually going in E6's favor, and Scraps and Wuskin, the twins, answer back very, very quickly. The spawns are in Enigma6's favor. They are going to be able to push around from the back here, but it's going to be held down by Wuskin. That's a 3-streak, make that a 4-3 kills in a row from him, and he's going to be able to lock down this back bunker very, very well. He's having a very, very big AR performance here. We said if the ARs can start firing from UniLad, they can definitely win this map. Same with E6. It seems to be UniLad's ARs just getting the better of the enemy team here, and they've locked down the majority of the time here at bunker, as well as picking up 40 at ruins. Easy not able to do anything there, and the Twins really doing a great job.
A full 60 almost from bunker as well. E6, they just got out-rotated, to put it simply. And I mean, even with a favorable bell spawn for one essential wave, they weren't able to break in. UniLad just doing wonders right here. And now as we go over towards East Road, traditionally it's a pretty wide open hill, if you will, in the sense that you don't really see too many full 60s come through, simply just because of how open it is. You see many, many nades drop in, but it will be E6 early on with control. And note, you've got Sender, number 2 on your minimap, controlling that cabin side, and E6 putting a lot of their resources there, despite, of course, UniLad currently spawning over towards Ruins.
Wuskit must be close to Streaks. We see him playing pretty slow towards the back there. He may just pick up a kill there. That's going to be his 6th, so if he doesn't have them, he will be very, very close. Moose.
And Wuskit, he's unbelievably close to Streaks as well, so Scraps, like, you have 2 players now for UniLad that could turn the game around.
I'd say I want to go on board with Wuskit if we can to see if he is close. Yeah, there you go, fully available. He's nearly going to have his artillery as well. This is definitely going to help UniLad throughout the rest of the game. We know how proficient Streaks can be on this map, and even if the Streaks aren't going to be used, it's going to force E6 to have to pull out a mountain, which is not going to help them either. Scrap starting here up here on the Hardpoint as well. They really want to see a map number 5 here, UniLad.
Most definitely do. E6 did well though on each road. They managed to just keep it relatively close. But the problem they're going to have now is UniLad just have that many streaks at their disposal. You're going to see the first mortars dropped, see if they can try and get anything over towards cabin, but ultimately no use there whatsoever. E6, they had a great cave hill in the first rotation, looking to have similar success again here, but Shawnee with a double. Scraps shuts down Sender, who was in the hill, leaves Diabolic all by himself, cabin alley, and realistically, if you're E6, you have to push again. 40 seconds, you cannot give that time to UniLad.
If they give all of that time over, they're going to be over a full rotation behind it. You really can't do that against a team of UniLad's caliber. They will not let anything slip away. Saying that, 3 members go down. Enigma6 do get control, and there's suddenly only Wuskit left to really do anything here, and they're going to pick up the majority of the time on cave.
And as much as this was that success in the first rotation, their big failure was Ruins and, of course, Bunker. That rotation was very, very sloppy from Enigma6, and you consider how close the first rotation ended. I mean, if they can just kind of improve a little bit upon that, make some minor adjustments, maybe a bit of an earlier rotation over towards Ruins, which is kind of what you're seeing come through. Diabolic needs to win that gunfight. Not going to happen, though. So first player in is going to be a BZ, and bear in mind, Wuskit still with some streaks. So even if UniLad lose control here of Ruins, he still has that in his back pocket to just fight a pilot. I mean, a fighter pilot on Ruins, I mean, we've seen how dominant that can be.
And even if they keep control here and allow Enigma6 to have that back spawn towards Bunker, they can potentially use them to try and break it there. I know it's a little bit harder, but using it on Ruins as well, they don't want to have to use it if they don't need to. But here comes the streaks, and that's going to be from Scraps. Gets 1, gets 2, just going to try and relieve some pressure from his brother, who does go down. And nobody from UniLad really in a position, apart from Shawnee, to do something. Jumps out, goes for the challenge. BZ stuck between a rock and a hard place to keep it held down because of the streak.
That's weird. They lose control. A fighter pilot comes in, they get 3 kills, and they retake control. Who would have possibly thought? 20 seconds left on Ruins now, but this is where it's important for Enigma6. This was really their big blunder, was that rotation from second to third. They had no control of the second Ruins, and it's happened again. It's happened exactly the same thing again. You had players just kind of out of position. In that situation, just pull back, right? Control that back bunker spawn. Now you're spawning bridge, you're going to get 4 seconds of Ruins, whoop-de-doo, and now you have to win these crucial gunfights with UniLad already set up.
And UniLad are in a better position here on bunker than they were previously on the last rotation as well. So it's going to be even harder, and they picked up the majority of the times on bunker last time round also. And it's actually going to be Enigma6 breaking through pretty quickly. BZ does go down, and the challengers should surely come in. He'll be dead any moment. Sender goes down as well, and they're going to be able to hold it. But the exact same thing happened. UniLad pushed through fire cut. Scraps picked up 2 kills that he didn't. He shouldn't have really been able to pick up. He ran straight through mid-map. Nobody from Enigma6 holding that moment. And in the end, yeah, okay, they got control of bunker in the end, but they could have been within touching distance, not 40 points behind.
Most definitely could. And you know, once again, Abizi's able to contest this hill. Ultimately not going to get much time. Of course, you still have UniLad spawning back bunker, so they have full control. And Abizi, he can't really challenge this. He really has to wait for players to push him. And if you can just keep this contested and stop the bleeding, that's massive play. And maybe potentially pick up some streaks. Abizi, nicely done from him. That's 4 in a row. The fighter pilot, the glide bomb. And I mean, that could be a turning point right here for E6.
Absolutely. They pick up about 20 points on bunker as well. So really good work considering the stronghold that we've seen UniLad have last time around. But those streaks definitely going to be influential in the rest of this game. General is holding cabin, which, you know, we say it's such an important area to have control, but UniLad going to let them have it and just sit up in the hill, and did a really good job for the first 10 or 15 seconds, but good work by Enigma6 to break.
And it is worth mentioning, you know, the way E6 play this East Road hill, you know, they do seem to at least get the majority of time here, but UniLad, they break through once again, 35 seconds left. Again, Abizi still with streaks. And this is realistically where you would love to see E6 kind of just split time here on East Road, then go over towards Cave where they've had a ton of success, try and get it a little bit closer. And then if you are late on rotation again towards Ruins in that third rotation, you have a fighter pilot to break.
Majority of the time on East Road, going over towards UniLad here. And you're right, you know, we go over towards Cave, those streaks available, it's just going to come down to who uses them best. I mean, UniLad have got that to counter. Two Enigma6 used it first to get the break. It really comes down to those first initial kills, but there Shawnee's going to light up every single member of E6 once again. 5 kills in a row, and these first few kills going to go.
This game's
UniLad, yeah, it should be. They really should lock this down.
Yeah, there's almost no way UniLad can throw this away.
Oh, and they don't get the glide bomb kill there either. Enigma6 send it in and don't take down Shawnee inside the hill. Completely wasted. UniLad have got this locked. They could win it on Cave.
They most definitely can. 211 to 143, the current score in favor of UniLad. Wuskin with more streaks at his disposal. He may save the fighter pilot, but it would surprise you to potentially see a glide bomb come through, especially considering Shawnee just used his. Instead, he hops in the hill. E6, I mean, it's very, very hard to get some map control when so many things are raining in from above.
Wuskin locking this one down. UniLad looking solid in this hardpoint. They won the first one. Fairly convincingly by about 50, and it's looking just as comfortable here, but they've got a search and destroy to worry about. Of course, if they do get there, still 20 more points to go, but with the way that Ruins went for E6 so far, I don't really fancy their chances, to be honest, Ben.
Yeah, it's just been, to be honest, a little unfortunate. I feel like E6 are going to go back and they're going to kind of watch this VOD, and when it comes to Ardennes in the future, they have to manage to get those rotations from Ruins to Bunker. Maybe it's just a little bit more smooth, and I mean, their overall play on Ruins hasn't been the best either. They've given up a lot of time, ultimately giving up the streaks didn't help. Abizi's forced to use his fighter pilot, ultimately does break through. They have control of the spawns as well for Bunker, so I mean, if you're able to pick up at least 30 points here, maybe you get a full 60, you're back in the game. It's by no means over, but the problem is UniLad, so many streaks of their own.
Yeah, they're going to call them in, and that's going to open the floodgates, so to speak. Scraps is there to try and take down Sender. Does have a little bit of support, but it's just been contested. That's good enough for UniLad. They only need 17 more points. Moose is taking down Diabolic. He does have Sender to his left-hand side, but the contestation only works in the favor of the team who's winning. 4 members go down. That should be UniLad taking this map.
Yep, 240, the 15 seconds left on Ruins, and
okay.
UniLad have to at least challenge, or sorry, E6 have to at least challenge one more time. Are they going to be able to touch the hill? Scraps, get in the hill. Well, not going to be able to win it on this one.
Well, I mean, they made it so much harder because now the Bunker, if E6 can hold this, they're really within touching distance. They'll be about 20 points away. UniLad only 3 needed. Could they just force it through the front?
Now, if you're E6, your only way of winning is if you get streaks. General's on a 3 streak right now, but realistically, it's the player in the hill that's going to have the best possible chance. General, all right, talk about taking over the game. 5 kill streak. We have to see General's perspective right here. General is basically changing the game. It'd be great if we could see if he's able to pick up those streaks. You have Sender in the hill. E6 down, but by no means out just yet. Even though there's 3 seconds left for UniLad, they're slaying all in their favor. Sender's going to find another one on the hill, and this could get saucy. If he's able to get some streaks as well, Ton, all of a sudden, E6 could fly back into this game.
I thought this game's been over about 3 times now, Ben, and suddenly Enigma6 are straight back into it. Look at the spawns.
General's still alive.
If he can pick up this kill, it's massive towards East Road, and he manages to snap in time onto Shawnee as well. This game is far from over.
Now, dependent on how Diabolic plays this, General will have to use his streaks. Him ultimately falling, PZ he needs that fighter pilot to come in right now. He has to call that streak in because it's just 3 seconds. That's all they need, and instead it's going to be, what, the glide bomb that drops. It ultimately finds 1. It's just 1 second for UniLad. You need those streaks to come straight through, otherwise you're going to lose the game somehow. Still alive, there is the fighter pilot from General. E6 still fighting from
Shawnee
behind.
finds 2.
That's going to be GG. Shawnee with the double when he needed it most. E6 made it interesting, though.
Yeah, they made it very interesting. UniLad will be a bit disappointed at how that one ended. They were looking so strong throughout it, and they allowed E6 a potential route back into that one there, and that's got a little bit scary for a second.
It's what's scary every time you watch UniLad, though. They have moments like that where they have a lead, and then all of a sudden you're like, all right, just close it out. Close it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have full control of Ruins.
It was Scraps on Ruins who, even with what, I think it was like 8 seconds left, you saw him just try and walk backwards to the hill when all they needed was 6, and then you're like, okay, well, there's 2 seconds gone, all right, there's 3, there's 4, now you can't win on Ruins. All you have to do was turn around, Dolphin Dive, you win the game right there.
It should have been a lot easier in the end. I mean, you look at the scoreline, and 250 to 280, they win it comfortably enough. But I mean, when they were at Cave, they were, 15 off?
Yeah.
And E6 was so far behind, it should have been a lot more comfortable than that. Going into the search and destroy, I don't know, man. I'm not really feeling too confident in UniLad right now.
I think it depends on the map.
Yeah.
I think it fully depends on the map. And figured it out. No, we don't know yet. We don't
Who
know
knows?
yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But in terms of E6 and their search and destroy, they looked flawless. They had many different strats that they were able to show us in Game 2, which was the Ardennes Forest. UniLad didn't really have that many things to offer, it felt like, and anything they did try, E6 kind of read them.
I think it was just those initial first bloods, wasn't it? As soon as they picked that up, and they just stopped playing the numbers very well. They need to make sure they're not getting too aggressive, or at least trying to win some of these first blood gunfights. If they start winning that, it changes the game completely. But
that's true. That was definitely their big falter.
Yeah, absolutely.
6-2 first bloods.
I think BZ had 4 of them as well. I mean, they need to shut him down on the search and destroy, getting up close and personal with that SMG. Did a great job with the sniper as well. It'll be interesting to see what map it is when we come up next.
Most definitely will. Well, first game here, day 2, CWL Birmingham, presented by PlayStation 4, is off to a great one. We got a good old-fashioned Game 5. We'll be back after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to day 2 here at the CWL Birmingham Open, presented by PlayStation 4. And the day has kicked off in pretty emphatic fashion. We've got a game 5 on our hands. First game of the day, of course. Narrow look at the E6 squad, whose game 2 Search and Destroy looked fantastic. Turn. You a little worried for UniLad now?
Yeah, I am. You know, if it goes the same way that the first map did and E6 get all those first bloods, it's going to be very difficult for UniLad to close this one out. E6 looked solid in that last Search and Destroy. They've looked pretty good all the way through the series. It's just been the 2 maps that UniLad winning in the hardpoints, just little moments of brilliance towards the end from some of their players. The rotation's been better, just been generally a better hardpoint team.
Right.
But the rest of the game modes, E6 have looked the better squad so far. So going into the second Search and Destroy, you've got to lean towards E6, our pool play team, our open team coming into pools. And it's unfortunate for UniLad that they find themselves in this position, but that CTF is the one that they need to win. Even if you lose that first S&D against a team who are as proficient as E6 at Search and Destroy, you've got to close it out 3-1. You've got to make sure you win that one. But going to this one, it's going to be Search and Destroy St. Marie. And I mean, it's one of those maps, again, first bloods can be so influential.
Right, they really can. And you kind of hit the nail on the head. If I'm honest, it was that game 3 for UniLad. That was their real big downfall. That's what makes them so vulnerable in this series. You're playing against a very proficient CTF kind of team. You look at their histories of the players. I mean, even General, you know, I mentioned Diabolic and Center, how long they've been playing. General's no stranger to CTF. He's had some pretty intense CTF games over his history under the E6 organization, that's for sure. And Abizi, I was so impressed with what we saw from him. In terms of the aggression he was able to put on the map, consistently putting pressure on UniLad's flag, and overall a fantastic map. But of course now we head to that game 5, St. Marie du Mont, Search and Destroy. And if E6 are getting first bloods as free as they were kind of last time, this isn't going to be a very good map for UniLad.
And something else that we touched on when they played on Ardennes was that UniLad were a little bit tentative, and if they do that on this map, they will get punished. That you need to be so sure on what you're doing. You need to commit to things sometimes to make sure, even if you're allowing E6 to get control of the bomb site or the other team to get control of the bomb site, whether they're attacking or defending, you need to make sure you're doing the right thing. General,
Love that.
First blood on the board straight away. Shawnee going down, they get control of B fairly easily, and that should be around. Diabolic picks up 2, and it's suddenly Moose left in a 1 versus 4 in the cleanest of rounds for E6
and
to
that
start
all
things
comes
off.
from that first blood nade, right? Now, UniLad did a very smart play with the gas grenade. They throw it right over towards E6. They have the choke cut off, and you kind of see E6, they think about pushing through. They're like, well, hold on a minute, don't have armored on here. If I push through with that one, I might get one shot or potentially even die. But overall, you know, it was a good start from UniLad. The gas grenade comes out, as I mentioned, but I mean, if you allow Diabolic to get a double like that, you're never going to win the round.
But just doing that, as said though, as soon as they get those numbers, they know they can try and win those gunfights inside of B, and they do that very well, and find themselves without a kill here, UniLad are around as we go into the second one. Moose pushing through, and are they going to make that decision? I mean, they don't seem to be there as fast as E6 were, and they're just running into gunfire. Like, where's the cover from the tacticals? There's just nothing.
Oh, and already the fast flank comes in. It's Diabolic feeling confident. Ultimately does drop. You would have loved to have seen him get a kill there. Make that flank kind of worthwhile, but it's a 2v2. Wuskin and Scraps, Sender and Abizi. Also note, bomb down over by that B site. E6 are going to know that. So realistically, they have to worry about Wuskin on a wide flank, and Sender just got some unfortunate timing. Oh my, no. No. That cannot happen. That cannot happen.
That's the round. They win that. That should be the round. Wuskin's got to win that gunfight. He has to. Scraps now on a 1 versus 2. I don't know, man. Those sort of gunfights that win series, and at this point in the game, they go 2-0 down. It's an uphill battle all the way.
I mean, Scraps,
he still could win it, but come on.
He has the ability, that's for sure. Of course, I'm unsure whether E6 know that he has actually picked up the bomb. They quickly check B now. Of course, they make their way over towards A, and something Merc's been very vocal about throughout the entire year. When you're in those 2v1s and you're on the defensive side, you can let the other team plant. It doesn't matter. You have a 2v1. You can play those trades. You can retake the site with relative ease, and that's exactly what you see E6 do there. Veteran play, and ultimately they now go 2-0 up.
Yeah, good stuff from them, but it has to boil down to that gunfight that we've seen. You expect Wuskin to win that one. If he takes down Sender, he sees him first, he gets the first bullet in, and Sender just snaps onto him with the bar, and suddenly it's a negative situation for UniLad once again. And just look in the column in the top right, look at those first bloods again, Ben. All towards Enigma6 so far.
We'll see if they're going to be able to find a third. The stun grenades go out, but Shawnee uses Armored. Well, Armored isn't going to protect you from 3 nades. The gas grenade was thrown out again, but in E6, they were just kind of saying, oh, well, that's not going to help as it moves with the team kill on scraps. But, I mean, E6, they'll wait for that gas grenade to disappear, and, I mean, then they'll just take control of the site. That cannot happen. You cannot throw that gas grenade out, stop them from getting site control, but then not take site control yourself. Yeah. Because ultimately, you're not doing anything. No, you're relying on your tacticals maybe a little too much. Yes, of course, you know, E6 are throwing nades back at you, but I mean, if you're going to go for that strat, maybe it's better to play bottom middle and wrap up towards top sandbags. Yeah.
Or at least get in a position where you can try and pick them if they've been a little bit weak from the gas grenade. But
do something, right? You can't just give away that side for free. Like, if you're going to use that gas grenade, maybe pull out an Expeditionary class, launch out a Semtex, right? We know how powerful Semtexes are in this game. Like, just fucking to kind of throw it, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Well, it's time to change it up here a little bit, UniLad, and I think they need to. As we go towards a no map control, though, another first blood for Enigma6. That's 4 in a row. Scraps does answer back. So a 3v3 without trade coming in from E6, and control it isn't too bad, but they need to get mid-map control. This is what we need Moose to win this next gunfight for UniLad. Yeah, and he is going to catch up easy there. So now that's going to allow UniLad to maybe think about planting this bomb.
Still low. First bloods, you look at that column again, you know, 3, 4 even, I should say, for E6, and it's just so simple. It's so simple. And now, of course, yes, UniLad 3v2. They need to try and get that bomb down over towards A, but you look at where Moose is watching that flank, and the smoke grenade comes out. General's going to challenge. All right, now you got yourself a 2v2, and you can see just how split the UniLad boys are.
Oh, if Scraps can get away, that would be so good for him.
He's dead.
He should be dead, but at least he survives a little bit longer. Moose now finding himself in not too bad of a position, but General should win this gunfight. Reads it fantastically.
What a read.
4 rounds in a row for E6.
It's a simple
cruising
one as well.
series win here, yeah.
It's a simple read. You have 2 players on the site, you pick them both up, and then where's the last player going to come from? Oh, on the flank? All right, well, easy as it comes. E6, their search and destroy is just borderline impeccable.
Yeah, it's looked flawless so far. I mean, there was a couple of rounds on Ardennes where, you know, you thought UniLad were going to win it, not even based off all these first bloods. Like the moment in Cabin where we've seen Shawnee hold it down, and suddenly they just switch it on and just do really smart players, but at this moment in time, UniLad don't have an answer at all. General close to streak 6-1 from him also, and it's just looking so good for E6 and so bad for UniLad.
I mean, if you're UniLad, next attacking round, fly day, right? Don't even waste your time over.
Hey, there we go.
Not worth it. Scraps gets first blood ultimately now, and that's going to put a slowdown to potentially E6's attack. And they went for maybe something a little bit different. They didn't aggressively fly over towards B. And I mean, yes, we obviously praise teams when they do different things and they mix it up, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They had full control of the B site for the past 2 attacking rounds. Keep on pushing it. Now BZ left in, obviously, the 1v3.
Going to be a tough one for him here, but they've got such a big cushion that 4-0 up. You couldn't ask for any more from E6 right now, and yeah, they're probably going to lose this round. It would take a pretty solid effort from a BZ to win this one. He is going to get taken down by Scraps, and a shake of the head really just shows how UniLad are playing right now.
I mean, I'd
obviously
be frustrated too.
Yeah,
I'd be super frustrated. You know, you're in a game 5 against E6, and you're just not really having your way like you would have expected.
I mean, UniLad last week are fighting for a place in playoffs. Right now, they're about to potentially go 1-3 in their pools, losing to the upper bracket team. I'd be frustrated. You're very, very right, Ben. E6, though, you can't underestimate how well they've played yet. In the search and destroy.
They play phenomenal, and I want to give some props to General as well. 6-2.
Stepped it up in a big way.
We kind of sat there in game 1 and said, well, we've been playing all day, and this is the performance you've given. It wasn't good enough. Game 2, it was distinctly average. Then game 3 was phenomenal. Game 4, you know, kind of on the fence. He stepped up towards the end, that's for sure. But this game 5, I mean, this is when you want the captain of the squad to step up and really just kind of put this game to bed. And it's this type of performance where you're getting that 2 first bloods, a 6-2 stat line. Of course, now you see the streaks rain in. Sender's going to pick up 1. Bomb goes down, yes, but you have 40 seconds now in a 4 versus 3 to really just retake control of this site.
And it's not out of the question either, but the thing is, Sender, he should have that fighter pilot as well. Shawnee going to get 1, Moose gets another, and it's going to come down to Wuskin as Diabolic gets the second. Wuskin trying to stay alive. Diabolic does a good job at that as well. A hard round for him to win here. This could be a 5th for Enigma6 now.
With site control, Sender, all he has to do is watch the angle. Wuskin's one shot, has to anticipate him to be on the bomb, goes for the elaborate challenge. It doesn't matter. And that old dream team duo right there, Sender, Diabolic, clutch up in a big way. Sender hit the drop shot. I think that may have just bought himself an extra couple of seconds to stay alive. Diabolic challenges, gets the trade, and overall now E6 5-1 up. I'm excited to watch this E6 team for the rest of the event, that's for sure, because if they can play like this consistently, I think there's a very real opportunity and chance you see him in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen TK not look sensational so far this weekend. FaZe could potentially be on their radar as well, but Enigma6 now 1 round away from victory in map number 5. Playing it touch passively here, but I mean, everything they've been doing in Search and Destroy so far has been turning to gold, so 5-1 up, looking solid.
Once again, though, E6, they're going to play this one a little slow on the attacking side, despite having so much previous success playing aggressively over towards the B site. Instead, they opt to slow things down a little bit. And
that's why.
Not surprised. Well, yep, there you go. That is exactly why. Now the fighter pilot's called, then you can take control of the B site. Ultimately, it doesn't get any kills, but it does give you free control of the site, which is honestly worth.
Well, the grenades should come in from UniLad. They need to try and retake here. Moose opens it up nicely for a kill on Diabolic. BZ really needs to hold this side now. Wuskin's going to jump in, gets one. Is he going to get a second as well? It's suddenly a 2 versus 3 now for UniLad to stay in this series. Sender holding down the bomb site, E6 in full control.
And honestly, all they need to do is just keep site control. You have 3 players, you can watch all 3 angles. 1 up top, 1 there spawn, 1 your spawn. You don't even have to push out towards kind of ammo. Instead of BZ's done the smart thing, he's managed to pick up 2 kills, he's still holding the same angle. Moose should have to check it, does win the gunfight. So 2v2, but again, Moose actually picks up all 3. Okay then, never mind.
He should never be able to get away with it though, Ben, if I'm honest with you. I think that's the
How
first.
does that happen?
That's the first chink in the armor of E6 that we've seen in S&D.
E6 are looking up top. You know, BZ has just died. Moose has 1 play in that situation, which is to push through. You have to have at least someone looking directly at that. Even if you have to lie down behind the site, it's a very, very sneaky spot. You've seen a couple players do it on St. Marie on that B site. You just lie down. You can see the legs of the players as they push through. Someone has to just kind of keep down. And no, Moose now very close to streaks as well.
That's what I was thinking. If UniLad can get this round under their belts, and we'll see how close Moose is as well, then it changes it big style. It makes it a lot more of an entertaining Search to Destroy. Enigma6 are looking so strong. Scrap's getting aggressive, and this is the first time that we've seen some assertiveness here from UniLad. Pushes through, gets the kill on the Sender. That bomb is also going down. Shawnee on a 1 and 6, not having a great game, but does get the bomb down now. 3 versus 3. Can Enigma6 retake control? Moose here. This next kill could be so important in the grand scheme of things. Wuskin goes down. Diabolic's got a second. He's 8 and 3 right now. Moose needs to stay alive. He needs to get this kill. He does so.
Streak's the perfect time to use it. You know E6 aren't going to have Mountain on, so this is the great time to actually just drop it in. Should be a free kill and information, and UniLad down, but by no means out.
Ooh, it's looking tasty now. UniLad back into this one. 2 rounds away from tying it up, and Streak's available. Crawling back into this game. Clawing back into it, I should say. I mean, you've got to say when E6 are 5-1 up in that situation last round, now, they maybe just switched up for a second. Maybe they think we've got this one.
Right. Here's the scary thing, though. If you're E6, you're forced to put on Mountain because you know he's going to have a fighter pilot. Now, what does that mean? You can no longer retake control of that B site. You can't run armored because you're so worried about the fighter pilot, unless, of course, you play bottom middle. Curious to see what they do. Of course, E6 on the attacking side here. It wouldn't surprise me if you see, look at that, they're forced to funnel over towards mid-map. The smoke grenade is going to cover the cut. Now, that's going to make UniLad maybe second-guess the A play, but instead it's going to be just a push straight through mid-map. Wuskin finds 1, and UniLad with a number advantage here, they could turn this into a 5-4 game with relative ease.
Yep, he does very well to get away there as well. That's all he has to do. He gets 1 kill and escapes. Scraps is in a terrible spot. Diabolic with another kill. 9 and 4 from him. Shawnee taking down Sender, though. UniLad with the advantageous spot here. Moose, this could be a big kill.
This kill is for so much. Of course, it gives you almost a guaranteed round here, but it will give you the mortars as well.
But look where the bomb is from E6 as well. Look at it.
It's in a horrible spot.
Yeah, a terrible, terrible spot. And this is UniLad's round to lose now.
It's all about that pick. And realistically, whether Moose can fully streak himself out. And no, he won't be able to. Diabolic just guns him. Needs to be careful that they don't get body blocked there. General has to back away, does so. 27 seconds left, still possible. Is UniLad going to throw this one away? General with full information on Wuskin. Shots fired. Wuskin goes for a peek of his own. Now, is Diabolic thinking about potentially just going to go and challenge? He is. They get both players weak. General gets gunned. Diabolic is still going to be there. And Wuskin, the double kill. Ring around the rosy around a pole. And Wuskin puts him in his back pocket. UniLad still alive here in the game 5.
Oh, he just outsmarts them both, doesn't he? Peeks on General, no, he's been rushed by a Diabolic. The pistol comes out, and it's an easy enough kill in the end. 3 kills in that round, and UniLad comes screaming back into this game, 5-4 now.
But why make it this difficult on yourself, right? Why make it this tough?
E6 have been playing Search and Destroy perfectly up until they were in the prime position to win the map.
Essentially, yeah. They had one attacking round where they did something completely different. Of course, then they earned some streaks and didn't really have much to utilize. And now all of a sudden, UniLad, they get some streaks of their own. And first bloods, they're raining in now for UniLad. Wuscam, that's his second and already man advantage. And they're on the attacking side as well. They have basic freedom to choose which side they want to head to. Is it going to be A? Is it going to be B?
Just taking their time here.
And that's simply because I believe Moose still has that fighter pilot.
Yeah. He should still have it. I mean, Sender, it'd be interesting to see if he has Mountain on, because he's going to be the prime suspect here. We can see Diabolic in general. It looks like they have from the silhouettes, but what's going to push on?
Yeah, good call, because he's, of course, the player over towards that A side. So
yeah. It'd be interesting.
Just, if you're UniLad here, just don't needlessly throw away your life. You can go for a trade. By all means, force a 2v1, but Scraps now looks as if he's going to rotate over towards A, and it's just a beautiful bait, right? They fire a couple of shots over towards B, E6, they're forced to wrap over towards that site. Now the fighter pilot's going to come out, and they're going to check the A site's completely clear, and it is. So the fighter pilot doesn't really get anything, but it gives them control of the site.
Yep, control with 20 seconds to go, and now E6 is going to have to retake a 4 versus 3 in favor of UniLad. And this would take us to a round 11 map 5. A great way to start the second day here, forget that. Scraps is so influential here.
Put yourself in the corner. You don't even need to challenge this if you're Scraps. You don't even need to challenge this. You could have just put yourself in the corner and allowed someone to just go by, pick up a free kill. Of course, General was able to find one. Moose now has to win the gunfight on General. Does so. Diabolic 1v3, 30 seconds left. First game of the day here at day 2 of the CWL Birmingham Open. Well, we're going to a good old-fashioned Game 5, Round 11. E6 had so much control of the Search and Destroy, and to be frank, they gifted it right back to UniLad, and UniLad now poised to try and use that momentum to take the series.
5-1 up, 3 versus 2. B-bomb side down.
It's brutal when you say it like that.
We're cruising. We are cruising, E6.
Nope. When you say it like that.
UniLad bring this all the way back. 5-5, it comes down to this, Ben.
Most definitely does. UniLad, they're going to be on the attacking side once again, and I'm loving the intent straight off the bat. If they just go for that fast A push, you have some utility as well to help. Sender's going to spot one. Is the stun going to connect? No, it won't. Sender has to call for help. Of course, the BT is up top. The shot's already raining down, and if you're E6, you have to have some indication here that the A push is going to come through. Beautiful smoke, though. That's going to cover the choke.
This is down to Moose. Moose is sitting up mid-map. If he can get a kill in and around there for UniLad, it totally opens things up. The gunfight's going to go down. Nobody going to get anything from it, but it's going to allow just enough distraction as Moose takes down Abizi. That bomb goes down. UniLad in a 4 versus 3 to win it, and Moose has just played it so perfectly. General goes down as well, and suddenly it's up to Diabolic and Sender to try and do something here.
They clutched the 2v3 earlier on, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do it again. Moose puts the final nail in the coffin, and that is one of the bigger chokes you're going to see all event. E6, they had it. It was theirs to take, but UniLad step up in a massive, massive way.
All right, they take it down. UniLad coming all the way back. A Game 5, Round 11 will seal it out. 3-2 for UniLad, but what a